Alright, let's start this video with a bit of a recipe. This recipe is all over the internet, but here it is as part of this video as well. So you'll need some white sugar. You will need some bicarb soda. Now this is sodium bicarbonate, properly called sodium hydrogen carbonate, but there we go, you'll find it in your kitchen. Bicarb of soda, sodium bicarbonate. Now you'll actually need these two things, the white sugar, which is by the way sucrose and the sodium bicarbonate, in a 4:1 ratio. So 4 parts sucrose to 1 part sodium bicarbonate. However much you use is entirely up to you, but have 4 times as much of the sugar. So here's what I just measured it out in, just a little bit of the sodium bicarbonate, and then I measured 4 of these of the sucrose, the white sugar. Now we need something to mix them in, and we need something to mix them with. So far so good. Now by using essentially 5 times of this, right, because 1 part the sodium bicarbonate and 4 parts of sugar, it actually came to quite a lot. So I divvied mine up into 2, which is good because that means that I was able to run the prac twice, and the second time I changed a bit and it went a bit better. So yay. So you actually don't need much of the stuff, right? You will need something to put it in though. So there we go. Good old baking tray, baking pan. Make sure you check with mum or dad before you grab the baking pan from the kitchen. Now you don't just put the mixture into this tray. What you do put into this tray is some sand. So there we go. Here's some sand, and the sucrose bicarb mixture you're going to put on top of that. Now, this is what I did first. My first run, I put it on top. The second run, which I'll make another video shortly, I didn't put it on yet. First, I put on this stuff, right? So, this is the first run of the prac. I put the bicarb sucrose mixture on first, and then I poured some ethanol around it. The second one, I put the ethanol first, and you'll see that worked a bit better. So here we go, methylated spirits, just from the local supermarket. This is essentially ethanol. It is a flammable liquid. Here we go, but it is essentially ethanol. It's about 95% ethanol. The recipe that I found on the internet didn't actually call for ethanol, it called for isopropyl alcohol. But they are very similar. Essentially, you just need something that will burn and supply some heat, some sort of fuel. So isopropyl alcohol, what the heck is that? Well, let's break that down. We have isopropyl. Yeah, I missed doing organic chemistry. So here's a quick intro to organic chemistry. Alcohol. Cool. So iso just means same. All right, this iso prefix means same. Prop, well, that says 3 carbons, right? The propyl, just, you're going to have 3 carbons. Alcohol, well, as an ol, you're going to have an OH group. Okay, actually, alcohols, when you're doing organic chemistry, they are now called alkanols, but alcohol is a very common word to use, right? But in organic chemistry, officially, it's an alkanol. Right, so prop, 3 carbons, 1, 2, 3. These are, of course, going to be bonded together. They can't just be floating off by themselves. So this is essentially propane, right? Prop, 3 carbons. There we go, I've got my 3 carbons. Now the ol part here says we need an OH group. So let's throw an OH group on there. There we go. This is actually not isopropyl alcohol. Okay, this is what we would actually call prop, because there are 3 carbons, propan, because the carbons are single bonded. Carbon can form double or triple bonds, but these carbons are single bonded, so it's propan, and it's an alkanol, so it's propanol, right? But this is propan 1-ol because that OH group is off the first carbon. Now, for isopropyl alcohol, we have this propan 2-ol. All right, you see how this organic chemistry works? It's quite nice, right? So we've got prop says, hey, I've got 3 carbons. The an says, hey, those carbons are single bonded. The 1, oh sorry, actually this is the 2. The 2 says, hey, at the second carbon, and the ol says, I've got an OH group. So there's its actual name, propan 2-ol. Older chemists would probably call it 2-propanol, but the more modern convention is the numbering system goes just in front of the thing you're talking about, and we're talking about the OH, so it's propan-2-ol. Now, this is isopropyl because iso, remember, meaning same, right? If we start from the OH group, if we come down, we could go off this way, and we come to, from that middle carbon, we come to one more carbon. Or we could have come down and gone this way, and from that middle carbon we come to one carbon, i.e. it's the same either path we take, hence the iso. Right? So isopropyl alcohol, very old name for it, 2-propanol, better name for it, but propan-2-ol, best name for it. Now this is an example of a secondary alcohol because the carbon which has the OH group, we call an OH group, by the way, is a hydroxyl group, so we call this carbon here the hydroxyl bearing carbon. Now that hydroxyl bearing carbon is bonded to 2 other carbons, so it's a secondary alkanol. Right? If it were only bonded to one other carbon, it would be a primary alkanol, and if it were bonded to 3 other carbons, it would be a tertiary alkanol. So there we go. So that essentially is a bit of an introduction to organic chemistry. And I should really make some videos on organic chemistry because I really like it. I think it's fun. It's very logical, very straightforward. Just follow the rules and you're grand. Now I didn't use that. What I used is ethanol. 2 carbons, right? And those carbons are single bonded. Ol. There's an OH group. Now it really doesn't matter which carbon I put the OH group on, and of course around the other carbons there are hydrogens. We tend to ignore those. We just assume, yep, there are other things there, there are hydrogens. So this is what I used, ethanol. Now you'll see it's very similar. The only difference is that the recipe I saw on the internet with isopropyl alcohol was this, right, an extra carbon there, but really doesn't make any difference. Alkanols will burn very nicely, very cleanly, and really that's all we needed was something to burn. If you did actually really want to go with the isopropyl alcohol, it's pretty straightforward to pick up. It's rubbing alcohol, you'll find it at the supermarket. It's just this antiseptic rub, so very easy to get, but so is ethanol. It's just methylated spirits. Methylated spirits is really essentially ethanol that they add a little bit of stuff to make it taste really disgusting and smell really disgusting. Back home they put some colouring in it. It's sort of a purple colour as well. But it's basically so people won't want to drink it. So yeah, there we go. There's your recipe. It's all over the internet, but let's get on with this. Now we just wait, guys. Cinder, come here.
It's working.
Well, the ethanol is burning, my darling, but it hasn't happened yet. But we'll just wait. We'll give it time. This is our first time ever of this, isn't it, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
So we'll see what happens.
But what if it doesn't work?
Ken, first time. If it doesn't work, well, we tried. Hey.
Yeah. Looks like.
Not everything works every time, Ailish, and that's perfectly fine. If it doesn't work, we try something else. But it is starting to work. Now, it is working a little bit, because I can start to see around the edge, see how it's sort of getting all fat.
Yeah.
Yeah? What I would like would be a column growing up out of it. Ken, pass me the stick, please. Just in case I need to straighten it out. Stand back, Ken. Yes, it's hot, yeah? Very hot, darling. See, look, it's coming out here, Ailish. Do you see? This is growing out, and it's growing out this side as well.
Yeah. Dad?
Yeah.
Like,
Hold, please.
how will
Hold, please.
we
Cinder,
wash
sit.
it out when it's
Good girl.
when it's done?
Alright, well, we'll wait till it's all done, and then Daddy will take care of it, darling.
There's a mosquito on your leg.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Declan, thank you.
There's some mosquitoes out here.
Ken, could you stand back, please? Further back, thank you. And you're right, there are mosquitoes out here, but we can't do this one inside, can we? So just growing out slowly, hey. But that's right, this is our first time of doing it, hey guys, so we're just learning, yeah? Alright, now stay standing back, but this is actually very, very light and fluffy. There's lots of gas in here. So what we're doing, we're making carbon. This is carbon here, so it's soot stuff here. But it's very light and fluffy carbon because it's got
Fire?
some, well, it's got lots of water vapor gas trapped up inside it.
Yep.
Hamish, here, pick that up. What do you think?
Yeah.
It is fluffy, hey?
You can barely feel it.
Yeah. Ken,
Yeah?
here please.
Hold some?
No, I'll give him some here.
Yeah, I want to hold some.
Just wait, Ken, wait.
Are you allowed?
Just, yes, in a sec. Let me test that it's not all hot. Okay, you can pick that up, Tommy. And tell me what you think of it. What's it feel like?
It
Cinder.
feels like
Sit.
smelly fur blood.
What? It feels like smelly fur blood. Dude, what are you talking about? Ailish, describe it.
Wait,
Is it fluffy? Here.
it is way soft and fluffy.
It's very light and fluffy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's also very soft as well.
It is. Very soft and crumbly, hey?
Yeah.
Now, didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. What I thought it might do, Ailish.
Yeah?
It didn't quite do what I thought it might, but you good? Was it good?
Yeah. No, Cinder, I'm not water. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah. And subscribe too. It's up here. And here's another video.